All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about the drama in REO Speedwagon as it keeps on rolling, keep on rolling, and doing it in real time for a few real people out here just like you and just like me. YouTube memberships, Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, and Rumble. Rumble. There'll be links, so go check out the links. So Bruce Hall, again, talking about the Kevin Cronin drama. It says here in this article that he put an end to the Kevin Cronin drama. He kind of didn't do that, but anyway, maybe people looking for some closure. He posted a picture from 13 years ago, and it was captioned brother to brother, husband to wife. Who's the husband and who's the wife? Sure wish we could build this bridge. Maybe he's alluding to, I don't know. Um, he's the husband and Kevin is the wife. I don't know what that is an allusion to, unless they got this mixed up. I can get the brother to brother part, but I don't know about the husband to wife. And the building the bridge thing, well, 1996, Bill Clinton for president. They wrote a whole album for Slick Willie so he could be reelected. Anyway, so Bruce Hall responded to some questions in the comments section. He talked about his relationship with Kevin, the future of the band, and also whether or not he would start a new band. When a fan asked him, so the fans are desperate. They want this to continue. And I don't know if they want Kevin to be a part of it, but this is what they're asking. They say here, and they're talking about Bruce Hall. So is there a chance you will be back in the future or possibly next year? Is there an ounce of hope for us fans that we can hang on to? And the bass player responded, I would in a heartbeat, but I can't make Kevin stay. So what people are asking you, Bruce, I'm not trying to get on Bruce Hall here, but these guys are all like, please, Kevin, please come back. Didn't Kevin make some derogatory comments about Bruce Hall's appearance? Didn't he do that? Um, Even though Bruce has a clean bill of health, I haven't seen pictures of Bruce Hall lately, right? I'm assuming he looks good, right? He looks good enough. He probably looks as young, if not younger, than Kevin Cronin. It's kind of a weird complaint to say that Bruce Hall doesn't really look like a rock star anymore when really none of these people look like rock stars anymore. Is that the point? Isn't the point the music, like I always say? It says here, this is a fan. Hopefully, Kevin and you will work things out. You two have given us the soundtrack of our lives. Well, Kevin would say it's mostly me, right? Every time you've been to Puerto Rico, I've enjoyed your shows. It may take some time to heal, but don't refuse to talk and leave things unsaid. They've talked. Nobody wants to talk to each other. They talk past one another. Hall approved of these comments, and he said, I'll never refuse to talk with him. I've tried over and over and will continue to. It's of utmost importance to me. So what these guys, I think, are admitting, right, is they're not going to make any money without Kevin. That's what they're kind of admitting. They don't have any confidence that anyone will show up if Kevin isn't there. Now, this gets a little interesting, though, here. It says, another person asked about the possibility of forming a new band. I'm still mourning the breakup news, but thinking ahead. Terry Latrell says there is news. Could that be you, Terry, Dave, and Brian, and maybe Neil getting back on the road? This is what Bruce said here. So Bruce isn't really involved in anything outside of these negotiations with Kevin. He says, I don't know anything about Terry's announcement, but wish him well for sure, the bassist replied. Now, there is something going on with Terry Latrell, which is very interesting, the timing of which is very interesting. So keyboardist Neil Dowdy doesn't agree with Cronin's earlier words. He shared Cronin's statement about his desire to keep the band going under a post and added his own words, "I respectfully disagree." All he had to do was let Bruce back in the band. So Kevin keeps saying, "I'd like to keep going." What he's saying is, "I'd like to keep going without Bruce." And these guys are all saying, "We need to give Kevin the benefit of the doubt." Kevin doesn't want Bruce in the band. Are you guys listening to what Kevin Cronin is saying? For crying out loud, I know you want to try to salvage this relationship, but it's like battered wife syndrome. Kevin is ignoring you. Are you guys talking behind the scenes though, and you don't want to upset Kevin, so he'll take his ball and go wherever, even though it sounds like he's already decided to do that? Man, this isn't really trying to save a legendary band. What this is letting the guy with the most control of the band dictate everything to you. This is far worse than what Steve Perry did to Journey. At least Steve Perry walked away and then let the guys do what they want, although, you know, he got a great deal. For this doesn't even compare to that, because these guys have already been down the road maybe a little bit too long. But, you know, if they came back as something else, something a little more, I don't know, classic rock and not so wimpy ballads and lilting singing and all that, if they came back with something a little grittier, that might work here. But these guys are all like, "Oh, we've got to wait for Kevin. Kevin holds the key here because he's the lead singer. I wouldn't do that to him." Well, he just did that to you. It says here, and this is Neil again, "Bruce and I have spent most of this year trying to convince Kevin to let that happen. But he wanted to keep Matt, the fill-in bass player." So what part of no do these guys not? It's just frustrating reading this. Like they're saying, "I want to bang my head up against the wall some more and pretend that Kevin is just going to change his mind in 2 seconds." Kevin's already made up his mind. Unless Matt stays, REO Speedwagon is over. It says here, this was also Bruce's life's work. "I am telling the truth," he continued. "I signed a contract saying I would. And you can all see my blue check mark." Okay. "Please don't turn this into a forum to trash Kevin." Oh my gosh. So don't trash Kevin after Kevin doesn't want to keep the band going and has basically said, "If Matt stays, then I'll stay. But if you want me to bring Bruce Hall back in, then no, we're done. We're done. And I'm just going to take the name and do what I want with it and just go off and people will come and see me." And that's what they're banking on, or at least what Kevin is banking on. So what's happening though with Terry Latrell? This is interesting. So Terry posted something on his Facebook page, and I didn't know that Terry was still around doing any music. Well, he just released an album not too long ago. Terry Latrell, REO Classics Band, with Michael Messi, Mike Bow, Greg Shute, and Will Palazzo. And these are all classic REO songs. So it's not a super long album here. It looks like 7 tracks. But yeah, this is interesting that Terry would put this music out. And it says, "Recorded live at Shock City Studios 2024. So this was pretty recent. I don't know if he knew in advance that this was going to happen, because it says here the release date was June 28th of 2024. So I'm thinking he probably had no idea, but the timing of this is pretty interesting. And again, if Terry can record a live album, why not go out there and do something with the guys who want to work, right? Who want to go out there and earn a living? Because I think they would. I think they could. They could play primarily stuff from the 70s, maybe a couple of Kevin songs. But, you know, this is just drama that is weird, because these guys are just, they're begging and pleading for Kevin Cronin to come back. And Kevin is saying things Like this is like a divorce. Like please come back. And no, no, I don't want to come back. But he's going to come back, right? No, he's not going to come back, but you keep pretending that he's going to come back. It's just bizarre. I don't understand this one. I empathize because they're trying to walk on eggshells with the hope that maybe Kevin will change his mind. But I think Kevin made up his mind when he was in the hospital. He doesn't want to work with certain people. There's also, is there a personality conflict between Kevin Cronin and Bruce Hall? Is it more than just the way Bruce Hall looks? Is there something more going on here that people aren't talking about? You know, did Bruce do something to Kevin? Did Kevin do something to Bruce? You know, I don't know. I think it's more like the other way around, because if Bruce has done something to make Kevin not want him in the band anymore, that might need addressing. Like, hey, you know, we've had this personality conflict for a number of years. Or just explain it to people, say, you know what? This is news to me. This guy just turned on me. But again, they don't want to say anything like that because that's going to just upset Kevin. And Kevin's going to take his ball and go home even faster than he's doing it now. It just, at least with Journey, right? You've got like one guy saying one thing, the other guy saying another thing, and there's like a back and forth. This is bizarre to me because they're just so like bowing at the feet of Kevin Cronin. Don't bow at if this is over, it's over. Bruce, call Terry Latrell and say, hey, let's do a band. Let's get out there on the road. Let's play all these songs from the past. Let's have a good time. And let Kevin do his thing and be Kevin of REO Speedwagon. I'm REO now, and you'll have competing bands. Not like that hasn't happened before, right? Just all over the place. It's happening. There are like two versions of certain bands that there shouldn't be one version of that band anymore. Now there's two. You know, there's a Jefferson Starship and a Starship. And what's bizarre is the old Jefferson Starship, which was kind of anti-establishment, is now singing like we built this city. What? And then, of course, the Starship, which is supposed to be more like the AOR band from the 80s, they're playing like White Rabbit. Just none of it makes sense to me. I mean, but I guess to entertain and to put together a big set list, you know, they got to kind of like cross the streams a little bit. But the guy who's singing for Jefferson Starship, Freeberg, I think his name is, or something like that, he's got no business. I'm sorry. I know people are going to be mad. He shouldn't be singing Starship. He shouldn't be singing Jefferson Airplane. He shouldn't be singing Jefferson Starship. I mean, man, do we miss Marty Ballin? Yeah, we miss Marty Ballin and Grace Slick, who is still alive. But man, I don't know how I got to that. It's just that you could have two versions of REO and probably they'll make money because obviously there are two versions of Starship Jefferson. And you know what? The people are going to pay the money and see it. There's not much left for the geezers, folks. There's just not much left. And hence, that's probably why I'm hemorrhaging viewers every single day, folks. So anyway, it's all up to Kevin. This is Kevin. Kevin decides. Nobody else. God doesn't decide. It's Kevin. So we wait for Kevin to maybe change his mind.